Men buy loud motorcycles to be seen and heard. Ecstasy. It's like Molly. Never done Molly. Very scared. I don't want to be a mother. I never wanted to be a mother. I will not ever be a mother. If you don't know by now, I like to use a sock as my wind muff. Today we're using a sock that has, I posted a video on TikTok of my summer favorites, and it was 5 minutes. It was 5 entire minutes. You know, I know, we both know. I think everyone knows. I'm much more suited for long form content. I whip a camera out and I suddenly feel the urge to talk for 20 minutes, but then I can't even seem to hold one productive conversation with my coworkers. TikTok was like, hey, baby, take that to YouTube. What is this, a podcast? Like, take that to YouTube. We're not going to push that. And they didn't. So I figured, why not just make a YouTube video? Which is what I'm doing. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. Let's talk about a few of the things that I've been loving this summer. A summer/current favorites, if you will. By the way, if I do sound a little bit redundant, if you've already seen my podcast episode on TikTok, my 5-minute long TikTok, I apologize. I feel like this lighting is... this is so much. Hang on. I'm gonna be really transparent here. The month of June for me financially is not what I thought it was gonna be. Okay? I talked about it in my podcast, and I have a video about it coming very, very soon, but I got laid off, and let's just say I spent a little bit too much time unemployed, if you can catch my drift. Yeah. I quite literally didn't have the space to, buy like a pair of shoes or a new bag or a new top, whatever, to fulfill that dopamine rush. I unintentionally found it in food, which is very, very, very strange. I am a mother's daughter. I always found food to be a chore, and I really don't care for like fanciful meals, this, that, whatever. Let's start with half and half in my coffee. I'm really sorry to the plant-based and dairy-free girls. I've tried almond milk, I've done oat milk, I've done the dairy-frees in coffee. I have. One day at work, I had to get up at the ass crack of dawn for this seminar. They had breakfast and coffee provided. I put a splash of half and half in my iced coffee, and I was transported to a state of pure euphoria and bliss. Half and half adds a certain amount of body and fullness to iced coffee that is so delicious. Just like, ow, I bit my gum. Let's keep this coffee conversation going. I've been really into homemade syrups lately. Now, I am very, very, very proudly a person who likes their coffee sweet, okay? I love a frappuccino, I love a macchiato, I love a latte. What I also love is the ability to put an absurd amount of simple syrup in there, okay? If there's no vanilla, there's no hazelnut, that's okay. Give me sugar and water. I can make that work. I can make it work. Recently, I made a salted caramel syrup. Delicious. I also made a brown sugar chai. Not as good as it sounds. Now, did I just mix brown sugar, water, and then chai powder? Yes. And a little bit of salt. Yes. I need to get the individual spices and then brew the tea. It's a work in progress. We're gonna go back to it because I know it has the potential to be delicious. Looked delicious. The syrup looked delicious. Didn't taste as good as it looked. One thing I've really been enjoying is my park and rot. I go to the park. I do every single thing that I do when I bed rot in my room, but I do it at the park, okay? I journal, I listen to music, I doom scroll. It's the park. It cancels out like PEMDAS, okay? Just trust me. I read, enter such a deep, pensive thought. I get to people watch, which is awesome. And then I eat a little sweet treat. It's amazing. In this park and rot, I make a visit to a very local smoothie shop in Bed-Stuy, and I love it. They know me by name now. It hasn't been that long since I started going. It's quite embarrassing. I get a smoothie, I get acai, I get a little bit of spinach, I get orange juice in there. But what I also get is ginger. If there's anything that working at the Smoothie King on Greensboro's campus taught me, it's that ginger in your smoothie is so refreshing. I'm a little bit ashamed to say that I'm out of my delivery haze. I used to Uber Eats. Winter was kind of brutal. I developed really, really pesky and not that smart habits. I was a Uber Eats fiend, and it kind of unfortunately spilled over into spring. I've been cooking a lot at home now, a lot more. I make a mean breakfast burrito, and in that breakfast burrito, I really enjoy chopping up fresh cilantro. This, okay, not a new thing. Like, I'm not saying anything new here, but it's the little things, and it adds the most delicious, authentic touch. I make this little like sauce, but sour cream in there. It's delicious. I think it's like when you like almost hit rock bottom and you're trying to like slowly inch your way back up to the top, and it's like the littlest things like cilantro in a breakfast burrito make you feel whole. This next one was brought on by what was a very brief retail stint here in New York City. This stint was terrible. Working retail in Soho. Now, why would you do that, girlie? Practically everyone who worked there was under the age of 21. So I would be working alongside with like 19-year-olds, which is totally fine. I would also get the, how old are you question? And I'd get, oh, I hope I look that good when I'm 25. Which I get it. When I was 19, 25 seems so far away, and it's like you can't even fathom 6 years going by and you being 25 years old. But it was humbling for sure. It was humbling. I would sneak sweet treats a lot at this job, and it would make this grueling ass retail shift just a little bit sweeter, figuratively and literally. Was my manager like, what are you doing? Like, my manager was like, why are you eating chocolate right now? Yes. Did it matter because I quit the next week? No, it didn't. This next one, I've been chefing it up in a really crazy way. I recently made brown butter banana chocolate chip muffins. They did taste as good as they looked. They did. I had a really crazy baking stint from the ages of like 12 to 15. Those were bodied by my roommate and I, not even like 72 hours, and they were gone. Primarily by me. Like, you know how girls will make chicken Alfredo and they'll be like, I'm so wifey, like, who's gonna wife me up? I feel like very maternal. I'm like, oh my god, like, it'd be so nice to be making these muffins for like hypothetical children right now. And then I realized that I don't want to be a mother. I never wanted to be a mother. I will not ever be a mother. And that these skills are kind of going to waste because guess who's eating them? I said it in my TikTok, but I'm maternal for like maybe 24 hours every single month, and then I go back to being the most heinous woman in the world. Can men buy loud motorcycles to be seen and heard? Fuck you and your motorcycle, and I hope you die. You're dying tomorrow, like you're literally dying tomorrow. Damn. I hope whatever woman that man is trying to get the attention of, I hope him doing laps around around Broadway, I hope she notices you. I hope she notices you. I'm back to being zen. The Cancer rising has returned. Let's move on to miscellaneous. In the month of April, Mary Grace and I decided to purchase like the Regal Pass. How it works is you pay the price of one ticket each month, at least in New York, because tickets are so expensive here. I think you pay like $23 a month, and then you get to watch unlimited movies at any Regal location, which seems good in theory, but unless you're like a cinephile and you're always watching movies, it kind of is a ploy to just get on like another random company subscription service. I'll like see a review or like discourse of a movie that just recently came out in theaters, and before I'd be like, whatever, just a stupid movie. I'd be like, oh, I can go watch that movie and I'm paying, so I kind of should go watch that movie, which is what I've been doing. I forgot how good it feels to do things by yourself. Also, particularly go to the movies. I think cinema is so beautiful, so wonderful. Cinema is literally life. You can't talk at the movies anyway, so going alone kind of seems ideal. You can cry if you want, you can laugh, you can get snacks, you can go blasted. Like, it's so fun. We haven't had a good roundup lately, but I am particularly excited for Trap. That concept seems insane, and I'm so excited. As well as Twister. I think movies are coming back in a really crazy way. I can't wait to see big tornado on big 3D, 4D screen. It's truly the little things. Like, actually, oh, this one is kind of silly. It is just wearing earrings. This is just super normal. I'm so normal, girl. So normal pilled. And when I do remember to wear earrings, I think it's just really sweet. It's just like, in that moment, I feel extra girl. I don't want to speak too soon, but I think I really have perfected my base routine. It would be really, really frustrating to see girls be like, bulletproof, sweat-proof, budge-proof makeup routines, and then I would try them. It's just like, use the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Like, hey babe, try that. That's not gonna work. However, I will do my makeup. I'll go to work an entire shift. Don't even need to blot. No powder, no blot, no, like, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, but when you have oily skin and you like to wear makeup, like, it's so anxiety inducing to be like, oh, like, are my smile lines cracking? Like, do I look oily? Does my makeup look da-da-da? And, like, always feel like you have to step aside to go touch up. I love it. Let me show you what I'm using. Elf Flawless Satin Foundation, man. I don't know what's in this. I think the one that's pulling all the weight is, in fact, the foundation, but setting spray. This is a very cheap, nothing one. I got it from my local beauty supply store. I spray this between almost every single step of my base routine. So, like, spray foundation, spray concealer, spray da-da-da. Before I, like, during the cream process, I think this really helps, y'all. I don't know. How could I forget this crazy girl? Finishing and fixing sprays make such a difference. They are not the same thing as setting sprays. I just learned that. I put this girl on. My mug is not going anywhere. My mug is not going anywhere, okay? This too. I forgot to mention her. The clean girl entrance has taken us back. We need the 2016 girls back. Those girls would wear cut creases and, like, a liquid matte lip. That thing would not budge all day. Why would we ever stray and move into strawberry latte, Bianco latte, clean girl, raspberry girl makeup? Why would we ever do that? I've been baking. I like to use this powder. This is just any one that doesn't give me flashback. And then I bake that hoe for 5 minutes. Next up is writing like I'm Carrie Bradshaw. It's very, like, normal and routine for me to get back from a date and, like, just write. I recently went on a date that was so bad that I went home and I wrote like 10 pages. I think the writing voice that I choose to take on, at least when I'm talking about something as fucking stupid as dating, is one that's very comedic. I'm my biggest fan. I think I'm so funny. I read my stuff back all the time and I'm like, you're so funny. It's a lot of fun. At least it's a lot of fun over here. I've been writing a lot more and just, like, feeling a lot more comfortable with the idea of people reading my writing. I've been toying with the idea of, like, starting a little bit of a dating column. I think that would be really fun. Probably would be on Substack. TBD. This is just June weather. This says scorched skin paired with a slight breeze or a cool breeze. Let's move on to media and what I've been listening to and just watching a little bit lately. Submarine by the Marias. I did buy tickets to see them at Radio Music City Hall next month. Tickets came out before the album even came out and I was a little apprehensive because I was like, what if I don't like it as much as I like cinema? It's better than cinema. Submarine is better than cinema 1000%. I think releasing it in the summer, at first I was like a little bit puzzled before I listened, but I gave the album a listen through. I got it on the first listen, babe. This is such a summer album. It's such like a melancholic, like, slow days. It's a really good album. It's a really, 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 really good album. I expected nothing less, really, from Maria. And then those other guys, I don't know, is one named Josh, I think. Some of my favorites: I No Puedo, Real Life, Number One, Damn, Another Bye, like, ooh, Vicious, Sensitive Robot, Love You Anyway, Echo, Why Loud, Why? From No Worries, they finally came out with, this is their sophomore album, which I discovered through my brother in high school. The very first song I heard from them was Drugs at a party, and I was like, what is this? What is this beat? Keep Her, Where I Go, and then one more. I said in the TikTok, damn, what was it? Timeless by Kitchenada. What a new and original idea. Oh my God, Kitchenada, like, wow. My favorites are Weird, the one with Innocent Park. What is that? Stepped On, that's so good. It's like so early 2000s. Justin Timberlake vibe. Please Babe, so good. When that beat drops, it's like ecstasy. It's like Molly. Never done Molly. Very scared. Also, oh my God, super tangent. I recently found out what the chocolate chip theory was. When you have a drug that has been laced or like contaminated with fentanyl, and you're like you're testing your drugs, it's important to test your drugs, but also to dissolve them in water, which I did not know, because fentanyl is never evenly distributed throughout a drug. It's dispersed like chocolate chips. Is that not insane? Like, hey babe, is it even worth it at this point? Like, is it even worth it to do drugs? Like, is it even worth it? Like, put the perk down, put put the perk down, put the cat down. I don't know, like, maybe we have to really get high on life, man. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It's really scary out here, like, I don't know. And then, Snap My Finger with Miss Pink Panttress. I recently had a playlist made for me for the very first time by my lovely friend Jasmine. I never used to be like a playlist, like, make me a playlist, girl. I did not care for that, but I get it now. I do get it now. Such a labor of love. The playlist has such cool tracks on it, and I've been listening to it every single day since it was made for me. Just for me. What was your world history fixation when you were a kid? Mine was the AIDS epidemic and World War II. I think in my prepubescent brain, it was insane that the world went through times in history where people were dying, like quite literally dropping like flies. One was genocidal, obviously, but with the AIDS epidemic, like a certain demographic of people were dying, granted very marginalized, so no one cared. Not me. The US was also incredibly Ronald Reagan pilled. That man will pay for his sins. I don't know, I found it so really, really crazy. And whenever I got the opportunity to do like a presentation or an essay and we got to pick in school, I was like, AIDS, please, for me. That or World War II. I think like every elementary school girl found out about Anne Frank and like was like, that's sister. Like, I don't know why, but like, that's sister. Like, I love her. I watched the Rock Hudson documentary. I only found out who he was through Ryan Murphy's Hollywood. I find like Hollywood in that age, like the 50s age, to be so fascinating. Being in the public eye, stardom just meant something so different back then. It must have been just like so interesting and also very difficult, granted, to be a star in that time and like have to navigate career, also a personal life and like sexuality, like in this documentary. And yeah, that man is handsome. I don't think a lot of stars back then were handsome, but like I put that on and I was like, wait, like I was like, wait, he's kind of handsome. He's handsome. Oh, sue me. Oh, he's handsome. Republican. So minus 1 million points. Yeah. He was one of the first notable popular people in the US to die from AIDS. So he did kind of like spearhead this thing and like actual public concern. I was so tickled by how historians and like biographers and everyone like that was like calling him some like catalyst, some like activist who was on the forefront. That man did not. Like, I'm sure he did not want to be aligned with that whatsoever. Chocolate babies, AIDS epidemic, more black and brown, a lot more my taste. No other really words to say it. I would really suggest if you see any of the three ones I'm gonna recommend, you see Chocolate Babies.
We your worst nightmare. Who do you think you're talking? A murderer. And we're gonna fight you to the death.
Lastly, we watched It's a Sin. I don't know where I saw this from, but I'm always into HIV movies. This one is more so based in a group of people that come together and live in London. I just really, really liked it. I really liked all the characters except for, what was his name, Ricky? I just really didn't care for him. It's a miniseries. It's really short. I finished it in an afternoon. I think you really get to briefly like put yourself in it. Like the fact that some people would just like hide their diagnosis or like diagnoses from everyone, sometimes not even like go get tested. They would just like isolate themselves and like die in their homes, and that was really insane. If you've seen the series and you know what happens to Colin, it's so insane to see the ways in which his AIDS manifested. His was like primarily in the brain. Spoiler, sorry. He turned epileptic, and it was just like, it's just so insane to when you remember that like young people, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28-year-olds were just healthy, and then they would deteriorate and they would just drop like flies, and it is literally mind-boggling. Like, I can think about it for hours and hours and hours, and that's sober. God forbid I hit a pre-roll once and I watched that, like I would tweak out. I think those are all of my favorites. I was going to press pause a little bit and then come back and see if there's anything else that I indulge in or like enjoy over the summer, but I don't think so. I think I'm just gonna be leaning into the things that make me happy. I think that's it. Special shout out to all of the girls who thought their seasonal depression would dissipate, but by the time it hit summer and then summer came, that shit was not going anywhere, and then they realized they need to go to a psychiatrist. I would really love to find out the small, insignificant yet monumental ways in which you are curbing your summertime sadness. My other socials are linked in the description if you're interested. I need to start linking my Goodreads Substack coming soon. I'm really excited at the prospect, but like I just get kind of scared. Like I get like, what if like someone who I want to date with reads it? Look at that. And now you talk too much. Like, ooh, you talk too much. Bye, get out. Oh, I'm pissed off. Like, I'm pissed off at the train. I can't wait to move next year. I'm pissed off at the motorcycle. Like, that man on the motorcycle, if I catch you on a motorcycle, I will gut you like a fish. Like, I want to kill him on the motorcycle. And I need to turn my AC back on. It's getting hot. I'm actually just like, so I'm actually getting pissed off and I actually need to turn this off. So goodbye now. Like, actually.